What is up, everybody? It's your girl Jada Reeds here, aka Diamond, and we are back with another video. But first, if this is your first time seeing my face or knowing of my existence, my name is Diamond. I go by Jada Reeds over here on this channel, and over here I like to do reading vlogs, book reviews, and everything in between. So if that is something that you're interested in, I think you should consider subscribing. All right, so today, guys, we have the start of a reading vlog. So a few days ago I received my copy of Blue Sisters by Coco Mellers, and I'm excited to go ahead and read this. Actually, I need to read this. I want to read this. I have not finished a book, like I said, since May, and it is currently July. Okay, we're not gonna talk about it. And I'm not in a reading slump. Okay, we're not calling it a reading slump because that's not what I'm in. I have read several books. I just have not finished any of them yet, but I'm quite a bit along all of them. But I just want something new, like something that I'm really excited about. So I went ahead and I decided to order this in the paperback from Blackwell's, and this is what I'm going to go for. So I am not new to Miss Mellers. I did read Cleopatra and Frankenstein when it came out, and this is about a woman named Cleopatra and a man named Frankenstein. Well, really Cleo and Frank. It's about Cleo, it's about Frank, and it's about their love life. It's kind of an age gap romance and kind of like a marriage of convenience story. And it's also about their friends, the friends that both of them have, and just like the woes of relationship, and also when you fall in love really fast and get married really quickly, and when you don't really know anybody, when you don't know the other person well enough, you haven't developed the relationship that would make you guys, or that would allow you guys to be successful in the long run. So it's all of those things in one. So this landed right at a 3.5 for me because I felt like the ending fell kind of flat. I didn't feel like it was fleshed out well enough, and I also feel like it was rushed. The ending was very much rushed to me. It just wasn't giving what I feel like it should have gave. But at the end of the day, I feel like it was a really good book for a debut author, and I was still interested if Coco Mellers came out with something new. And she did. She came out with something new. So let's go ahead and read what the synopsis says about Blue Sisters. So this one doesn't really have much. I heard that it was about it doesn't really tell anything, but I heard it's about 3 sisters, really 4 sisters, but one of the sisters I think committed suicide in their family home, and I think that the story is regarding how their parents want to sell the family home. The family home is in New York. Don't quote me, but there is a little something on the back. So here it is. The Blue Sisters have always been exceptional and exceptionally different. Avery, a straight-laced lawyer living in London, is the typical eldest daughter, though she's hiding a secret that could undo her perfect life forever. Bonnie was a boxer, but following a devastating defeat has been working as a bouncer in LA until a reckless act one night threatens to drive her out of the city. And Lucky, the rebellious youngest, is a model in Paris whose hard partying ways are finally catching up with her. Then there was Nikki, the beloved 4th sister, whose unexpected death left Avery, Bonnie, and Lucky reeling. When a year later, the 3 of them reunite in New York to stop the sale of their childhood home, they find that only by returning to each other can they navigate their grief, addiction, and heartbreak and learn to fall in love with life again. A healing balm that will unearth tenderness and heartache from spectacular depths within you. My neighbors are being loud. I do apologize if y'all can hear that. I barely can, actually. So yeah, that's what this is about. And yeah, we're gonna spend the next couple of days reading this. I'm so glad that I'm trying to get back in my element, as you guys can see. I have not sat down and like did a formal reading vlog in so long, and I'm really excited about it. You know what I mean? I'm really excited to just like get back into the swing of things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna read this. I'm gonna update you guys, of course, along the way whenever there's something super interesting that I need to discuss, whenever we develop something new, or even just giving you a little bit of an idea about each of the girls, each of the 4 girls: Avery, Bonnie, Lucky, and of course not Nikki, because she's beloved. She has passed away. So I'll be checking in from time to time, and we'll be talking about this book. Stunning cover, by the way. She does so well with these. I think this is going to be a theme, right? It's going to be a theme. So yeah, tell me what you're reading. Tell me if you read this. Tell me what you think. And I'll be back soon. This one looks like it's a little shorter. How long was Cleopatra and Frankenstein? I think it was like 370. I was so right, y'all. Look, 370. Some stuff you just never forget. This one's a little shorter. This one, and that's probably what's gonna make it amazing. This one's 342. 30 pages can make a huge difference in the way that you can like finish up or round out a book. So I think that might be like the perfect little touch. 342 pages might be just like perfect. So yeah, girl, I'm excited for Coco Mellors. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna chill out and go and read. So yeah, I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later. Probably when I get to like the 50 page mark or something like that. All right, bye. All right, so I just wanted to first of all say hello. Welcome to the second clip, and I wanted to come and show my work outfit today. So here we are. We have a Vintage Man's shirt. I don't know what the brand is, but it's really nice. And then I have this skirt, this silk skirt. Also, no, this is from H&M. This is from H&M. And then I have on these ostrich skin boots. And yeah, and that's that. Just some bangles, my Invicta Tiffany, and yeah, the glasses are from Christian Dior. So yeah, good morning, everybody. It is 4:45 a.m. and I'm headed to work. There will be no book update until later. I wanted to come and show another outfit. I think I look so cute today. So I have this little baby doll like t-shirt from Urban On. I got this jumpsuit from Anthropologie last summer. The t-shirt is recent. And I have on some New Balance. I don't know what these are. Yes, I do. They're called, hold on, because I have it on my keychain. The Trail 610 Bodega. Just wanted to come in and show my little outfit. I think I look so cute. Also, if you didn't hear that, they're called the Trail Bodega 610 by New Balance. It's like a little hiking shoe, but it's so cute at the same time. Like, what? Sorry about all the shoes everywhere. So I have been so busy. Like, I can't even make this shit up. I forgot how to even vlog. I keep looking at myself, and I never used to do that. So I've been so busy. I'm making myself a coffee now, which I need to put now I need to put a shot of espresso in it. So hold on. Super busy with work, and to the point where when I get home, I'm so tired. But I've still been reading tons. Since that last clip, I've actually finished several books, but I just haven't finished Blue Sisters. I've been reading Blue Sisters a little bit slower, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I'm gonna update you guys for sure later on Blue Sisters. It's going well. It's a great book. And I'm just gonna talk to you guys a little bit just about life in general and just the things that I've been dealing with and things that have been happening, which has been great things. It's just really hard to get a grip on stuff, especially when your life has changed so much in such a short period of time. So I'm actually late for work, so I'm gonna go ahead and get ready and go, and I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Hey guys, as promised, I'm back, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually put you right there. So I'm back to now finally talk about Blue Sisters. Except I'm probably low energy though a little bit, because with my new promotion or whatever, I have to be at work at 5 a.m. and also I'm in dress down clothes today because it's Saturday, and where I work we don't have to dress up on, if you work on a Saturday morning, you don't have to dress up, you can dress down. So that's why I'm dressed down today. But yeah, I'm low energy. It's noon. I've been at work since 5 o'clock and I'm taking my lunch break. So I'm actually parked outside of Wingstop because I'm eating Wingstop today for lunch. I'm excited. Haven't had Wingstop in a while. I wanted some chicken wings today, and this place is really close to my place of work. So yeah, we're eating that. And yeah, I'm like totally back. Like, it's been a couple of weeks, not a couple, yeah, it's actually been 2 weeks since that last clip where I was initially on my couch in my living room introducing the vlog. It's been 2 weeks. Within that 2 weeks, let's talk about books that I have read, and I will talk about them in like a recent reads video, but I just want to let you guys know that I have completely jumped over this and read a few other books, because by design I am a mood reader through and through. I just can't help myself, you know. I think I'll become more organized like sometimes in the fall, whatever the case may be. But yeah, so anyways, girls and guys, I read, starting with the most recent one, I've read The Rachel Incident, A Little Life, Just for the Summer. Okay, let me talk about The Rachel Incident by Carolyn O'Donoghue, A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and Big Swiss by Jen Began, and Anniebot by Sierra Greer. And all of those reads were absolutely phenomenal. Such good reads. Okay, as you guys can see, I'm in my new release bag. First of all, Big Swiss, I think it was like released last year. Anniebot came out this year. Boom. Just for the Summer came out this year. And The Rachel Incident came out last year. Y'all know I don't be reading current books. I'm always reading backlist titles. So yeah, A Little Life came out in 2015, but y'all know the hype. Actually, I didn't read the whole thing. I finished it. I decided to sit down and dedicate some time to it, and just to go ahead and finish the book. And I think that it was best for me to do something like that because I wasn't as emotional as some. You know, I was brought to tears reading it a few months ago or last year around those intricate parts where you really start to learn exactly what happened to Jude. But the rest was inevitable, and I knew what was gonna come, and so I'm in the perfect headspace to handle a book like that. So I'm glad that I finished it. It was worth the read. And so in the near future, I'll definitely sit down and read the entire thing again. But in the distant future. So yeah, so anyways, I read all those July, yeah, so June. So I read The Rachel Incident first, and I read A Little Life, and then I picked this up after that, and then I put this down to read Just for the Summer, Big Swiss, and Anniebot. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. And so actually now, because this book is actually really decent, it's really good. It's really good, but I don't know, I just sat it down. And so that's just like a reoccurring theme, you know, with Coco Mellors, because in the same vein, I was getting those vibes when I was reading Cleopatra and Frankenstein, which I want to reread that. And I think that's why I kind of put this on the back burner, because I'm waiting for Cleopatra and Frankenstein to be available on audiobook, because I really want to read that book first, you know what I'm saying? And then I want to read this. That's really what I'm dealing with. Because right now I'm only on page 69, and I really think it's because I've definitely put into my head, you know, that I wanted to just dive back into Cleopatra and Frankenstein and just kind of like soak up and reread it to see if I like it more, because it was a solid 3-star read for me. It was not a 4 or a 5, just a 3-star. And I think I spoke about this briefly in a previous video or something like that, that the ending is just really what threw me off, but it could have just been me at the time. So that's why I really wanted to give it a second chance before I went into this one. But I really I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying all of the sisters. I'm enjoying learning about each of them individually. And then of course what's going to happen is they're going to come together collectively. And I can't wait to see or to read about how that happens and what happens. Right now I'm getting into the parts about how Lucky, she's about to come and live with Avery and her girlfriend, and they're in London right now. Lucky is in either Italy or Tokyo or something like that. It's been such a minute since I opened it up, and she's about to get ready to join Avery and her girlfriend. I think her girlfriend's name is She or something like that. She's about to get ready to join them in London. It's alluding to that. So I don't have a lot of an update. So I feel like what this is just going to turn into is just like, I'm going to sit this to the side. And actually, we're going to talk about the books that I've read recently. And we're going to talk about the current book that I'm reading, that I am reading on audio. And I am 7 hours and 36 minutes into. So that's how much, like, I'm telling you. And I think I'm going to have to just take this book and like give it its own vlog with Cleopatra and Frankenstein. That's just what my mind is telling me. Okay, all the mood readers alike, you understand what I'm going through. You understand. You're catching my drift. Let me see what time it is, because my stuff is supposed to be ready in 15 minutes. So, okay, so I still have some time. So in order, let's just go down the list and let's briefly talk about these books. All right, so first of all, the Rachel incident. Seriously, it's about Rachel and James, two best friends who live in Dublin. Do they live in Dublin or like some like community outside of Dublin? Either way, it's based on these two friends in Ireland. And you have Rachel, who they meet each other in college, and Rachel and James, they meet each other. Actually, James is not in college. Rachel and James meet each other working in a bookshop, and Rachel's in college and James is not. And so they meet each other and they completely hit it off and they become roommates. And so you just follow the trajectory of their friendship and their relationship, and in relationships that Rachel has individually, and you follow who James is as a person, and you start to find out the different nuances to his character and to his sexuality. And so when I was reading the jacket, the synopsis about the Rachel incident, I definitely hinted at the fact that based on the words and what they were saying or implying, I said either, because they're in the jacket, you find that there's this professor named Dr. Burns or Mr. Burns or whatever. And it speaks about how Rachel has this crush on him, but then it turns to like Rachel and James's friendship and like other things that might happen there. And I was like, either they're gonna like fall in love with the same guy, they're gonna sleep with the same guy, or Dr. Byrne is actually going to be interested in Rachel's best friend and not in Rachel. And that's exactly what ends up happening. Spoiler alert. And then you just follow how that ends up going. And you also find out within the story how it became the Rachel, or why it's titled the Rachel incident. And it's so good that I said enough to I think I gave enough away not to spoil it. That book is so reminiscent of Sally Rooney, not to take away from Carolyn O'Donoghue. She has a totally different style, very unique of her own. But if you are a Sally Rooney lover, oh, you're gonna love The Rachel Incident. It's such a great story through and through, beginning to end. It's funny. There are not really any true sad moments, but you really feel the pain of Rachel, the angst of a teenager kind of entering into adulthood, trying to figure out her own way and trying to maneuver in relationship, whether it be with her friend, her best friend, or with a love interest and with a professor, and just like all the things that you feel when you're truly infatuated with a person. You're not in love with them. You're not even in like with them. You are infatuated with them. And also the nuances to what it means to be gay and in the closet, and closeted gay versus an out gay man, and like how those two different, how they're synonymous in a way, but still very different from each other. And also it talks about just the culture divide of the two. And like, I don't know, it's just well researched. Carolyn O'Donoghue really did a good job of portraying those two types of gay men, and it was just really good. Even the incident portion, I didn't even see that coming. When you find out why it's called The Rachel Incident and you figure out what the incident is, it's just so good. You know what I mean? Like, I knew it was going to be good because one of my faves really liked it. And I really liked it. And so, just like Cat's Field Note says, I'm really interested in just after reading another person from Ireland and like their writing style and the culture, I'm really interested in more of that, you know. Even with me reading a couple of years ago, I read the book Milkman, and so if I'm not mistaken, the author of Milkman is also Irish. So yeah, just very intriguing authors, very quick-witted in their writing. It's very compelling work, comes off the page, you know. You're able to really truly visualize what's happening, and I love stories like that, so I'm really glad that I read it. And on that note, I'm gonna have to come back to you guys because I need to go in here and get my food because I'm so hungry. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up these recent reads that I have here. I'm back. It's a couple of days later, actually a few. We're getting it in how we can get it in, okay, as far as the filming is concerned, y'all. The way my life is set up right now, I'm happy to just be able to pull out the camera while I sit in the car rider line at my daughter's school. Very early. It is 2:31. She doesn't get out of school until 3 o'clock. So we have a good amount of time to like try to talk about some more of these books. Okay. So after The Rachel Incident, mind you, I'm reading these books simultaneously while I'm trying to read Blue Sisters. I think I started reading Blue Sisters after A Little Life. So I also went ahead and finished A Little Life, and I'm very, very, very happy about that. I'm glad that I did it. I'm really, really, really glad that I finished it. It wasn't, I don't know if I spoke on this already in the last clip, but I think if I did, or if I didn't, I'm just going to speak briefly because I've talked about A Little Life just a few times on my channel, but not as of late, as of recently. I've been trying to finish this book for a year now, and I'm glad I did. It's so much context to A Little Life out on the internet. I'm not going to go into deep detail about it, but it's a book written in 2015 by Hanya Yanagihara, and it's centered around the friendship of these four guys. But there is, of course, a main character or two. All of them are main characters, but there's one character that the book is centered around. His name is Jude, and it's just about the life that they live as friends and how they met each other in college and how they all completely matriculated through life with each other. It's about love, it's about friendship, it's about honesty, it's about vulnerability. I watched an interview or a talk that Hanya Yanagihara did on A Little Life, and so one of the key takeaways was that this book to her is a fairy tale. And so if you watch that interview and then you decide to read the book, I think it'll be easier to digest the things that are in it and understand why she decided to say, well, it's a fairy tale. Of course, it's not like Cinderella, it's not like Snow White and stuff like that, but it still is a fairy tale, but with a lot of gut-wrenching, moving parts to it that make you have to like take a step back and like take a year off. I literally had to take a year off from reading this book. But I think I remember saying that I'm in such a great place in my life that it was easy to pick it back up and read through and finish it. So it's a very rewarding thing to have finished something like this. It's a very deep book. It's a conscious book. It makes you conscious of the way that you lead your life and the way that you value the people in your life. It makes me conscious of the things that I say and how I just move in general, whether it be online or in real life. Like it takes effort to notice the ways that you're doing things and how you can fix certain aspects of your life as relates to just you as an individual and how you treat other people. And also just being gracious and being grateful and being mindful. Those are just a few of the many takeaways that I've taken from A Little Life. But either way, if you're on booktube, you know what A Little Life is and you know what it does to people. So that's my little spiel on it. I'm glad I finished it. I do plan on touching on it again in the next, I think I remember saying this, in the near future. And I'll just hopefully sit and read through the entire thing. So yeah, moving on. All right, so we have Just for the Summer. I read Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. And it was a nice, cute little book. It is in the A Part of Your World universe. We find out that one of the main characters is a sibling to one of the characters in A Part of Your World. We find that out. And a host of other things. One of the good things that Abby Jimenez does is, you know, she touches on serious topics and she'll embed them into her romances, and she talks about them, of course, in detail, at length in detail in the novel, but she still has a way to where it doesn't get extremely serious to the point where it turns you off from reading more about these two people falling in love. You know, the trope or the ideal or the, what do you call it? I can't think of the word right now, but the thing that she speaks on in this novel, it doesn't take away too much from what's happening between the two. It adds to the story. And so I don't really look at a lot of discourse as it relates to Abby Jimenez. I don't read too deep into her books. I think that they are a fun time. I look to her for a fun time. Since reading A Part of Your World, I know this author is going to be a fun time. Yes, it's going to be a little bit of seriousness, but literally out of 100% of a book, 30% is going to be a little serious, and then the rest is just like, you know, we're going with the flow, following the plot, following the love, and just like really enjoying yourself. So I enjoyed my read with it. I did not rate it, and then yeah, that's just it. Like, I enjoyed it for the most part, and I finished that book on August 2nd. I finished A Little Life July 29th, and yeah. So next I read Big Swiss by Jen Began, or Began. I think it's Began. This book was a fun time. It was so fun. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm so glad that I joined the club. I'm so freaking glad that I joined the I'm so freaking glad that I joined the Big Swiss Club, y'all. Like, oh my gosh. Like, this book was a romp. Okay, so first of all, it is about, Big Swiss is about this woman. Okay, I forgot her name already, but she goes by Rebecca in the book. But that's not her real name, that's her fake name. And you read the book to know why she has to have a fake name. So anyway, she's a transcriber for this like little small company or whatever, or this this guy pays her, this psychologist pays her to transcribe his sessions, and so she's listening to the sessions and she's transcribing what happens, and then she happens upon this one session with this woman who she names her Big Swiss. And I think she names her Big Swiss is something to the effect of because she sounds Swedish, or like she's from Sweden or something like that. And so what you get is a woman who basically becomes engulfed with the storyline of a woman's life, her innermost deepest thoughts that she's spilling over to her psychologist. Rebecca gets enthralled and entangled in them, and it happens that they end up meeting each other one day, I think at Central Park, and then the story goes and takes off from there. This is a very, very, very interesting book. That's really all that I can say. Like, I don't have a lot of intellectual thoughts about Big Swiss because Big Swiss also was just a really fun time. It was well written as well. I was really, really, really enjoying the audio. So I listened to it on audio on Everand, and I was obsessed with it. So when I'm at work, I'll just give you a backstory of my work. So the work that I do, I'm basically doing admin work on my own at a company, and I'm there. I have workers that work with me there, but they do other things, but I'm doing like the most important thing, and a lot of that calls for me being situated by myself. So I have an earbud in and I'm doing all the admin work that I'm supposed to be doing and getting the day basically processed and ready to go. And I enjoyed thoroughly my time at work doing my job, as well as listening to Big Swiss. It was the best 2 days of my life. I read this book only while I was at work for 2 days. That's how fast I went through this book, because I have like about 2.5 hours. So maybe it was like 2 days at work, and then I finished it on day 2 when I got home. I probably was scrolling on Pinterest or something, and I was like listening to the book, but it was just such a fun time. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Big Swiss is just really good. It's like, I would say it gave me the effect of when I saw The Hangover for the first time. Anybody who's seen The Hangover, you know, with Bradley Cooper, he's the only one that I know by name, right off the top of my head. But if you saw The Hangover, and when you saw it for the first time, it was an obsession. Like, from the beginning of that movie to the end, it was so freaking good. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I didn't even want to get up and get any more like popcorn or something to drink. I didn't even want to go to the restroom. The Hangover was just that good. That's how I kind of feel about Big Swiss. If it's making any sense, the way that I'm explaining it. It's like watching a movie for the first time, but automatically like falling in love with the movie, and you haven't even made it to the end of the movie yet. The Big Swiss was just amazing. It's so many parts that just like developed in the story over time that you're not going to expect, and just like the love story that sort of happens, and those little intellectual moments, or those moments where the main character finds herself just kind of stuck and caught. Oh my God, when she gets caught, it's all just so interesting. I don't have anything else to say about Big Swiss except the fact that it's a very, very intriguing book, a phenomenal read for sure, something that I'll never forget. I'll have to definitely revisit it, and it's just very interesting. Like, Big Swiss did a lot of making you think for it to not be such a thinky book. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really explain what I'm trying to say, but I think that's the mystique about it. Like, you don't really know what to say about it except for that it was an amazing book. It was a good read. And so, yeah, like, that's just what I'm going to say about it. It was a great book. It's a great read. I'm glad I read it. And then the next book that we read after Big Swiss, I also did this one on audio. Audio has been kind of taking over, okay? So, Anniebot. I read Anniebot by Sierra Greer. And let me just tell you guys something. It gives me AI type of vibes. Like, AI is about to prevail. AI is about to take over. Like, it's just, this is the future. Like, this book made me feel like I was living or reading about what's about to come, what's about to happen in the future. So Anniebot is this intense story about a man who has this robot as a girlfriend. They call her, she's like a cuddle bunny, a cuddle body or whatever. And in the story, she's described as a, what is her actual, like, what do they call her? Either way, she's basically a female robot. And she has an owner that's a human man. And also she kind of like has the essence a little bit of his ex-girlfriend that broke up with him. She doesn't quite look like her, but she does look like her at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how she's described in the book. And so what it follows is sort of this, I think the line's about to start moving. This is early. This is kind of early. What it follows is she's almost sort of like gaining consciousness throughout the story, or like gaining sort of like more humanly qualities and characteristics. It's more or less like how Siri is. When you first start using Siri, she doesn't work as well, right? But then, like for Siri, she doesn't, sorry, I just had to make sure I get my shit together. But it's like, so Anniebot starts to like get smarter and smarter the more that she's being used, basically, like how Siri is. First, when I try to use Siri, she's not catching or picking up on my voice, but like, it's artificial intelligence. So the more you use it, the better it becomes, the better it studies you. You know what I'm saying? The more apt Siri is to like play your favorite song before you ask her to, or, you know, it's just smarter and smarter over time. That's what's happening in the story with Anniebot. The more she's like intertwined and like has these different sort of moments with her owner, the smarter she becomes, the smarter she gets. So that's basically like the basics of the story. And so she is like just gaining, I don't know what else to say, like she's just like she's gaining her independence, basically, in a nutshell, in this story. But it's so much more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Anniebot is definitely a feminist novel, but it's like, can I even look at it as being a feminist take or a feminist novel because of the context of the story? You know, like it has so many different things in it. Like, the male gaze is like super amplified and magnified in this movie. I mean, in this book, for it to have been written by a woman. But I think, of course, that's a part of the point. That's a part of the plot. That's kind of like what you're supposed to get from it. And then it's just so many things to it. Hold on. I just need to like just give a little bit of like a context to what the story is, because I don't feel like I'm doing like a super good job. So here it is. Anniebot was created to be the perfect girlfriend for her human owner, Doug. Designed to satisfy his emotional and physical needs, she has dinner ready for him every night, wears the cute outfits he orders for her, and adjusts her libido to suit his moods. True, she's not the greatest at keeping Doug's place spotless, but she's trying to please him. She's trying hard. She's learning too. Doug says he loves that Annie's artificial intelligence makes her seem more like a real woman, but the more human Annie becomes, the less perfectly she behaves. As Annie's relationship with Doug grows more intricate and difficult, she starts to wonder whether Doug truly desires what he says he does. In such an impossible paradox, what does Annie owe herself? So yeah, in a nutshell, that's basically what I was trying to say. So there's a lot of different aspects to Annie's artificial intelligence. Like, for example, there's like a scene in the story where Doug's best friend, Doug is her owner. Of course he's her owner, I just read that, but there's a scene in the story where his best friend is there and he's like surprised that she's not real. I think he didn't know at first, and then he was like, she's a robot. And he's like, bro, she looks like real. Oh, she really looks like your ex-girlfriend, da 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 da. So there ends up being this sort of entanglement between the bestie and Annie, and the craziest thing ever is just like, she's not understanding why she likes this so much. Like, it's a secret. It's almost like it was being done against her will, but at the same time, she did have a choice. And so her making the choice to do what she did, she loved it. You know, it was like a bit of power, and that was adding to her intelligence, or the intelligence factor of her growing more and more human-like in the story. And so she starts to realize, okay, now I have something for me that Doug doesn't have to know. Now I have this secret. Me. Yeah, no one's controlling me. I'm controlling things on my own. And so she starts to just kind of like maneuver and figure out her way. And so there's a lot of that basically going on in the story, and it gets to being deeper and deeper, more dark, more intense. There's a lot of themes present that are purposeful, but they really make you consider how you're moving in your daily life as a woman. And like, basically, once again, what books are meant to do is to generate conversation and also have you thinking as a human. How can you figure or configure your life in a better way, or helping you think through different things like what Anniebot is going through. But we are humans. I don't know, I'm going off on a tangent if it's making sense or if it's not, but a lot of what I'm trying to say right now is how the book was making me really feel. Like, I had a lot of different ideas as I was reading the story, and so to me that makes for a great book. So this book is sitting at a solid 3.8 on Goodreads. I really think it should be higher. I don't know what my mama is asking for. Let me call her. I'll call her in a second. But yeah, I guess, yeah, basically what I was saying was, it was a good book. I highly recommend Anniebot. I highly recommend all the books that I just actually finished reading recently. They're all pretty good for the most part. They've been great. So yeah, that's that. That's my card chat on all of the books that I have read recently. We will finally circle back to Blue Sisters momentarily, because my library haul finally came through for Cleopatra and Frankenstein. And remember, I was saying in the last clip, I wanted to read it this time audio. Last time I read it physically, with my eyes. This time I'm reading it audio. And of course, like I said, I enjoyed the book thoroughly. It was like the last third of it I didn't like it, so I'm enjoying the audio book experience very well, or very much. But I remember the story vividly, so it's like nothing new is happening, or there's nothing happening in the story that is like brand new to me. Everything is the same, so I'm hoping for a better experience towards the end of it. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's what I'll be continuing on, or that'll be my next video, just like talking about Cleopatra and Frankenstein and how I feel about it, and also talking about Blue Sisters and talking about them in together, or what do you call it, in tandem. So yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching me talk about books in my car. Started in the house, ended in the car, whatever. And yeah, that's that. Honestly, like, this is my channel, okay? And I'm doing things how I want to do them. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Whatever the case may be. But yeah, either way, sayonara, signing off. See you guys in the next upload. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, deuces.